Welcome, foolish mortals. Today, the Hall of Presidents in Magic Kingdom has been closed for refurbishment, and they have added new character barriers onto the Gran Fiesta Tour in the Mexico Pavilion of EPCOT. That and more coming up on today's episode of the Disney Newsreel. So before I get started today, make sure if you are not subscribed to the channel, you go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. And also make sure you leave us a like and a comment and let us know how we're doing. So I only picked out about 3 stories today because there really wasn't a whole lot that happened this week as far as Disney World goes. And again, because Disneyland has been closed, still there's also nothing going on there. And it is a little more difficult to find out what's going on with the other theme parks, the Paris, Shanghai, Hong Kong, and Tokyo. It's a little more difficult to find out what's going on with them. So I'm just sticking with Disney World still. So, the first story is that the Hall of Presidents is now closed at the Magic Kingdom. Now, this doesn't necessarily come as a surprise because, you know, we just got the new president. It is now, as of this recording, it is now the 21st at 5 o'clock in the morning, and so it's past the inauguration, which means that we now have a new president. And every time that happens, they have to close down the Hall of Presidents so that they can add the new president into the Hall of Presidents. And there was no sort of announcement. There were some people that were confused by this while they were at the park, because all of a sudden they just went by and the Hall of Presidents just was closed, because this happened kind of suddenly. There was no sort of like warning or announcement. It just kind of suddenly happened. But for those of us who had been around for a while, this was nothing new. We were prepared for this because, you know, a new president was just inaugurated, so this kind of had to happen. So if you are one of those people that enjoys going into the Hall of Presidents, which I don't know if Anna and I are because we've never been in there, then you won't be able to go in there until they get the new audio animatronic for President Joe Biden into the Hall of Presidents. That one was, I just wanted to kind of give that quick update on that. Okay, second story, and this just kind of blows my mind that we even need this. So some new character barriers prevent guests from exiting boats during ride on Gran Fiesta Tour at EPCOT, and the Donald animatronic still missing. So the Donald Duck animatronic at the end of the Gran Fiesta Tour, which, for those of you who don't know, in the Mexico Pavilion in EPCOT, if you go inside the step pyramid, they're like kind of tucked back away in the corner, there's actually an attraction in there. It's a little boat ride, and it used to be called Rio del Tiempo, I think? Rio del Tiempo? Something like that. It was River of Time. And then it became, you know, a few years ago, it then was changed to the Three Caballeros Gran Fiesta Tour. And so there, at the end of the ride, there is a Donald, a Jose, and Panchito animatronic. And the Donald animatronic had, I guess fallen over, I think is what it was. And so they actually went in, and after he'd been there for a little bit, they actually went in and completely removed the Donald animatronic. So he's just gone. Just poof! And he is still missing. They still have not fixed him. Or maybe are not going to fix. I don't know what's going on, because it seems like they're trying to turn the Mexico Pavilion into a Coco thing as opposed to Three Caballeros. And so as of right now, Donald Duck is still missing. But the other part of this that just kind of blows my mind is that there are new character barriers. So there are just some barriers with ropes on them that have little flags that have Panchito, Jose, and Donald. And those barriers have been put up right as you get to the end of the boat ride. And the boat is starting to pull into the station, as it were, to pull up to the exit. They had to put barriers up because apparently people were exiting the boats early. They were just getting up because you're going just along this whole, like, what looks like a walkway almost, and the boat's just kind of going along that. But people aren't waiting for the boat to come to a stop like they're supposed to. They're just getting out while this thing is still in motion. I mean, it doesn't move very slow at the end of it, but it's still in motion. And like sometimes if they're still loading another boat, then your boat will pause for a little bit to wait. But you are told by a cast member, hey, remain seated until the boat pulls up here. I know this because we've ridden it a few times. And so the fact that people were getting off frequently in those earlier points, frequently enough that they had to put up barriers, that just kind of blows my mind. Like, I don't understand that. Like, the little announcement, little like overhead thing, which I think is either Jose or Panchito, maybe both. They flat out tell you, or it tells you in that little announcement, it said, please stay seated until the boat comes to a complete stop, until you return. But people were just not paying attention to that. And again, the fact that this was happening often enough that they felt the need to put barriers up is just kind of ridiculous. All right, and thirdly, the theme park hours extended at Walt Disney World for the first week of February. So, and there's a reason I picked this story. One, because, I mean, this, if any of you are going on trips to Walt Disney World, this might affect your trip. But there's also another reason. So, the hours at all 4 Walt Disney World theme parks have been extended from January 31st through February 6th. So normally Magic Kingdom has been open, as of this point, has been open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day. And the hours are changing now, so that it will still open at 9 a.m., but now it's going to close at 7 p.m. And it will be closing and it will be closing at 7 p.m. from February 1st through the 4th. But on January 31st, February 5th, and February 6th, the Magic Kingdom will be closing at 9 p.m. as opposed to 6 or 7. So, and then the same goes for like Epcot. Epcot they've been going from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and now they're going to stay open until 8. Hollywood Studios has been opening will be opening at 9 a.m. instead of 10 a.m. and will close at 7, which they've normally been doing. Animal Kingdom is going to be open at 8 a.m. instead of 9 a.m. and they're going to close at 5 p.m. like they have been. Now, along with this, they've also put through some new operating hours through like April 3rd. But this gives me a little bit of hope because it's like they're starting to extend the hours. They're trying to get back they're trying to get further towards a sense of normalcy, they're trying to get back towards what their original hours were. Because normally, like when Anna and I would go, you could get into Magic Kingdom Magic Kingdom would open at 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. when they did extra magic hours, which are now going away. And then you could be there all the way until, like, if it was like a Halloween party night or something like that, you could be there all the way until midnight. Or maybe it was 1 a.m. We left at midnight. I don't remember if it stayed open for a little while after that. But regardless, either midnight or 1 a.m. or whatever. And so that was a lot of time in the Magic Kingdom. But the hours have been so shrunk up because of the pandemic and because of all the hassle of everything. The masks, the social distancing, the cleaning and sanitizing everything, and this and that and the other thing. And it's been so crazy with that they haven't been able to return to their original hours of operation. And so this kind of gives me hope that maybe they're getting closer and closer to that. I know it may be a while before they get there, but at least they seem like they're getting closer to that. And that makes me happy. So that's something exciting to look forward to. So that is everything for me today. So thank you all for joining me for the news today. And I hope that we will see you all again next week. But until then, don't forget to thank the Phoenicians.